goes on increase and they occur in a straight line, and here the rates are occurring in a straight line, which means the rates are equal, which means the rates of forward and backward reactions are equal. By the time consuming, these both reactions will be equal. Well, to know the dynamic nature of the chemical equilibrium, we will observe for some examples. What are the examples? The examples are synthesis of ammonia by Haber's process, ammonia synthesis by Haber's process. Firstly, in the series of experiments, Haber started the experiments with known amounts, which means he taken a certain amount of dihydrogen and dihydrogen and dinitrogen, and here forms the reaction and here forms the reaction. And in the series of experiments, the Haber shows the amount of ammonia present, and he also shows the unreacted hydrogen and nitrogen in the reaction. Unreacted hydrogen and nitrogen in the reaction. What happens if we okay, let us consider these example by using D2 in place of H2. What will happen for knowing this dynamic nature of this ammonia? Let us consider D2 in place of H2, which means we will place D2, deuterium, nothing but deuterium in place of H2, and here forms. In these experiments also, firstly the reaction which is starting either with deuterium D2 or H2 reach the state of equilibrium and forms the ammonia. But here only there is D2 instead of H2, and here only ND3 instead of NH3. When these two reactions are at equilibrium, we will combine these two reactions. We will combine these two reactions, and they are left for a while. They are placed for a while. After some time, we will observe these two reactions. What we will observe? The amount of ammonia is just same as before, which means the ammonia which is present here or here is same as before, which means when these only single reaction happens, what is the amount of ammonia present? After combining these two reactions also, the amount of ammonia is same. And by considering these, then D2 and N2 and forms ND3, and by observing these two reactions by mass spectrography, we will find some ammonia in its deuterated forms like NH3, NH2D, NHD2 and ND2, right? And we will also find hydrogen in its deuterated forms like H2 plus, not plus, H2, HD and D2. We will observe by combining the two reactions, we will along with the ammonia, these products are also formed. When these reactions reach the state of equilibrium, there is no mixing of isotopes in this way, and we can attain in the reversible reactions, we can attain by taking the reactants and we can get products, or by taking the products and we can get reactants. Let us consider an example. When we take N2 plus 3H2, we can get we can get NH3, right? And while the concentration of the N2 and H2 decreases and the concentration of the NH3 increases, and this is the forward reaction. And another type of and in backward reaction it decomposes and forms these two, and we can take only NH3, these two NH3 alone, and we can decompose it and we can form nitrogen and hydrogen separately, and this nitrogen and this hydrogen separately, nitrogen and hydrogen separately we will observe. What we will observe in the both reaction, here and here the concentration of the ammonia goes on decrease and the concentration of the N2 and H2 goes on increase up to when it will increase when the concentration when the system reached equilibrium. At to that stage they both increases and they attains equilibrium state. Well, and let us consider one more example. Here is a chart. 1 minute. Let us consider an example. When we place H2 and I2, when we react these two reactions, we will get 2HI, right? Here also the concentration of the hydrogen and iodine decreases and forms the hydrogen iodide, and if we consider these reaction in reverse direction, the concentration of the hydrogen iodide decreases and the concentration of the hydrogen and iodine increases, and this can be shown by a graph, and this can reach in either direction. Here we can see firstly the concentration of H2 and I2 goes on decreases and attains equilibrium state, and they again goes on decrease, while the concentration of HI, they go at the initial stage it is at zero concentration, while the time consuming it is also goes on increases and it attains equilibrium value and it again goes on increases, and at this stage where these both lines are at constant value, you can say here is the equilibrium between these two, between hydrogen iodide and hydrogen molecules and iodine molecules. And here let us recall what you have left, and there is let us going to discuss about, and we will see the general characteristics of physical and chemical equilibrium. General characteristics of physical and chemical equilibrium. In the physical, firstly let us discuss about physical equilibrium. In the physical equilibrium, it is the physical equilibrium is only possible in a closed system at a given temperature. At a given temperature only it is possible. Whereas, and second point, both the opposing forces occur at the same rate and there is a dynamic but stable condition. Both the opposing forces, which means the rates of forward and backward reactions are same, when that means they occur at a same rate, they occur with a same speed, and here there is a dynamic nature but stable condition, it has a stable condition. All the measurable properties of the system remains constant, which means the concentration of the products and whatever reactants, the measurable properties which we can measure remains constant. As the system completes their at the final stage also they remains constant. And here in the physical equilibrium, it is characterized by one of the value of its parameters at a given temperature, and it can be essentially known by one of the parameters, which means the temperature and the factors which affecting it, we can known by this also. The magnitude of such quantities at any stage indicates extent to which physical processes are proceed before reaching equilibrium, and the magnitude of such quantities indicates the physical process, the change in which the physical process reach the state of chemical equilibrium before they reaching the chemical equilibrium. Thus, the magnitude is useful. And let us come to the chemical equilibrium. what are the general characteristics in the chemical equilibrium? In the chemical equilibrium, both the forward and reverse reaction continue to take place, they never stops. If the equilibrium is occurred also, both the forward and reverse reactions are takes place. The rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. Here in with the what speed the rate of forward reaction is happening, at the speed only the rate of reverse reaction also happens. And the properties such as pressure, concentration, color remain same at the equilibrium state, which means they do not change. The properties like pressure, concentration, color, they remain same, they does not change. And addition of a catalyst to the reaction does not alter the position of the equilibrium, it only speeds up the attainment of the equilibrium, which means when we add the catalyst to the reaction, it does not take participation in the reaction, it only speeds up the reaction, it does not change any physical or chemical properties of the reactions, it only speeds, it's just used for the boosting up of the reactions. And some chemical reaction equilibrium can be reached by carrying out reactions starting with reactants and carry out by the reaction starting with products. And in chemical reactions, by taking the reactants we can get products, and also we can take the products and we can get the original reactants, right. And here completed. And let us recall what we have learnt. Firstly, we have discussed about the introduction of equilibrium, and here some more examples for the equilibrium which is occurred in our daily lives. Let us consider this as a equilibrium. We know this is a common balance simply. And if we place 20 grams of weight in the one pan and another 20 grams of pain in one pan, weight in another pan, what you will observe, both the pans are at equal state, which means this is at equilibrium position, this is at equilibrium position. And here there is a tube, here is a tube, what you will observe, if we pour the water in this, what you will observe, both these water levels are at same state, which means they are at equilibrium. If we increase some more water, that means we can in the chemical reaction we add some water and all, we will observe what, and attainment of the equilibrium is same, which means there is an equal state, which means the water molecules are at equal. And okay, and equilibrium, and recall what we have learned. And we have known about the equilibrium which occurred in the physical, and we have taken the examples of phase transformation, and in the equilibrium which is occurred in the chemical, and we have taken the synthesis of ammonia and all, and we have discussed about the dynamic equilibrium, equilibrium constant, and one more thing, ionic equilibrium. What is ionic equilibrium? The equilibrium which involves ions in the aqueous solutions, which means the water solutions, is known as ionic equilibrium. And let us consider, we can see it in a PowerPoint. What we have recalled, we will see it in a PowerPoint. And among the substance we can observe two types of changes, that is physical and chemical. We have discussed both the ice transforming into water phase is a physical, and the chemicals, the stick we burnt and we will get a ash, it is a chemical changes. In physical transformation, state and color changes takes place, which means in the physical changes there is only change in the physical state of color and takes place. In the chemical reaction, both the composition and properties change place, which means they change their shape and color, they totally change their composition. And in both processes equilibrium, but in both the physical processes and in the chemical processes the equilibrium takes place. And equilibrium, what is the definition of equilibrium? Equilibrium is the state in which there is no observable changes as time goes by, which means when the system is at equilibrium, when we take it in equilibrium, we do not observe any changes as the times goes on at a equilibrium state, and this chemical equilibrium is achieved when the rates of the forward and reverse reactions are equal. We have discussed this in the general characteristics of chemical equilibrium, and the concentration of the reactants and products remains constant, which means the concentration of the reactants and products, they do not change when they are at equilibrium state. And what is physical equilibrium? We have taken some examples here. Firstly, the H2O, the liquid molecule at liquid phase, in the H2O it converts into gas phase. Chemical equilibrium, we have taken the example of dinitrogen tetraoxide. Firstly, it is at gaseous phase. After it forms the nitrogen oxide, and the oxygen also gets, but it dissolves, it gets converted into the air. It dissolves into the air. And different types of physical equilibrium we have discussed. Solid liquid equilibrium, which means the ice cubes turns into water phase, and the water cubes, and that is the solid liquid equilibrium. And liquid gas equilibrium, which means the H2O molecules comes into gaseous phase, which means we have taken example of the mercury level increases in the right side of the manometer, that is. And solid solution equilibrium, which means dissolution of solids in liquids. Solution experiment. Firstly, we have taken the salt, we have taken sugar and we dissolved it in a solution. We will observe the equilibrium between the solid molecules which is present in the solution and the sugar molecules which is dissolved in the solution. And gas solution equilibrium, here we have taken carbon dioxide gets fuses out because of the solubility of carbon dioxide at different phenomena. At different pressure it is stored in the water. And a state at which the concentration of the reactants and products does not change with time with chemical reaction is known as chemical equilibrium. Definition for the chemical equilibrium: the state at which the concentration of the reactants and products does not change with chemical reaction is known as chemical equilibrium. Here we have taken an example of calcium carbonate. In the calcium carbonate, we will observe calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide gas. Here we have taken a picture of it. Here, when we heat calcium carbonate in a furnace, what will happen? Here, what we have happen? Firstly, the mercury level in the manometer, it does not increase. When we heat it, what will happen? The pressure inside the, here the calcium oxide is converted into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide gas, and because of this carbon dioxide gas pressure, there is an increase in the mercury level in the right limb of the manometer. This is decomposition of calcium carbonate at 1730 Kelvin degrees temperature. And here are some graphs, we can know it by. Firstly, here we have taken and dihydrogen oxide, tetraoxide and nitrogen oxide, nitrogen dioxide. Firstly, the concentration goes on decreases of the reactants and the concentration of the products goes on increase firstly. And in some reactions, firstly here we have taken the we have started these reactions with taking NO2 as a reactants and N2O4 as a products, but here we have taken N2O4 as a reactants and NO2 as a products, and here also arises the value of the N2O4 goes on decrease and the value of the NO2 will increase slightly, and at this stage we can say that the system is at equilibrium. And when we take these both reactions, it will have same equilibrium state, it will increase, the N2O4 value increases and the NO2 value decreases, and here is an equilibrium arises between these two. Here they shown a example, a picture of clear picture of it. When here when these picture decomposes, it forms like this. Here we shown starting with N2. Here first in the first reaction we have started with N2. The second equilibrium is arranged here, and in the second reaction we have started with N2O4, which means we have started the reaction with products, and we will get NO2, and equilibrium is attained at here at this point. And in the third reaction we have started it with NO2 and N2O4. At both we have started at same rate, and here the equilibrium is arranged. Dynamic equilibrium. A definition for the dynamic equilibrium. At dynamic equilibrium, the reactants are converted to products and the products are converted to reactants at an equal and a constant rate, which means the speed which the reactants turn to products is equal to the speed which turns the products to reactants. An example for this dynamic equilibrium is CH3COOH with hydrogen gives rise to CH3COO. And here taken an example for dynamic equilibrium. Here consider it fishes in one bowl, and the white color fishes in one bowl and black color fishes in another bowl. What happens after some time? These fishes goes into this, and the black fishes comes into this. Here shows there is an equilibrium between these two, and here laws of chemical reactions. Let us discuss about this. In a reversible reaction, the ratio of the rate of the forward reaction is equal to the rate of the reverse reaction is a constant for that reaction. Let us consider here A, and here A and B are the reactants, and AB, the small a and small b of the coefficients, and here the C and D are the products, and small d and capital E are the small d and small c are the reactant, the coefficient reactants. Here for this reaction we can write equilibrium constant like Kc is equal to the concentration of the reactants by the concentration of the products. Here we have taken C, the concentration of the C, and into the concentration of the D, by this taking the power as the stoichiometric coefficients, and by the concentration of the reactants like A and B, and we have taken the coefficients A, B. Here we can write like this. If K value is greater than 1, equilibrium will lie to right, which means the favor products. If K value is greater than 1, equilibrium is right to right, which means if you take the reactants, the product value goes on increase, and there is only some reactants will left in the reactions. And if the K is less than 1, the reaction proceeds reactants, which means if you take a large amount of reactants, only some amount of the products are formed and the maximum number of reactants are formed. And if K is equal to 1, both the value of the concentration of the products and reactants remains changed. And applications. Well, my dear friends, we have discussed what we have recalled. Yes, and coming to the equilibrium constant. Constant. Before coming to the equilibrium constant, we have once we have recalled equilibrium mixture. We have recalled equilibrium mixture. When we take equilibrium constant, the mixture of reactants and products in a equilibrium state is known as equilibrium mixture. And in this section we will going to answer number of questions. For that questions we have taken some simple answers like, if we take A plus B gives rise to C plus D, for this the two scientists, chemists, Cato Maximilian Goldberg and Peter Weich in 1864 proposed a theory about the concentration of these reactants and products, that is Kc, the equilibrium expression. This is the concentration of C to the concentration of D by, which means the concentration of the products first by the concentration of the reactants, the concentration of A to the concentration of B. And here Kc, what means Kc is nothing but equilibrium constant, and then this is known as equilibrium constant expression. And AC and D, AB and C, this can be known by simple expression. Let us recall once again these graphs again. Here also arises same equilibrium. Firstly, the concentration of the A and B, the concentration of the A and B goes on decreases and attains a constant value, and the concentration of the C and D, initially they were at 0 point and they increases their value, and at a certain time, after the certain time they attains a constant value, at this stage we known as equilibrium. And in the second graph we have taken the rate of the forward and reverse reactions, in which here the rate of the forward reaction and the rate of the reactions is equal to the rate of the products. They are both occurred in a same line, they are occurring with the same speed and a same rate they are occurring. And here we can get by in some reactions we can get reactants from the products, and from products we can also get their reactions. This graph is the representation of such type of. In this graph we can get equilibrium from either direction. If we state firstly, if we start H2 plus I2 at the 0 point, the value of H2 and I2 is at 100 at a high concentration, while the concentration of HI is at low concentration. While the time consuming, the concentration of the H plus I2 goes on decrease, while the concentration of the HI goes on increase, and they attains and they goes on increase like that. At this stage there is an equilibrium arises between these two. Well, my dear friends, we have discussed what we have recall also, and we will meet in the next class, and we have ended this chemical equilibrium with a short time, and we have more in this chemical equilibrium, but because of the lack of time we are going to close it. Questions?